Imagine an NFL game where big hits aren't just celebrated, they're paid for in cash. A clean tackle? Maybe $100. Knock a guy out on a stretcher? Potentially 1,000 or more. And the bigger the stage, the bigger the payout. It sounds like something out of a violent video game, not professional football. But between 2009 and 2011, the New Orleans Saints ran an underground bounty program that rewarded players for big hits. And more disturbingly, for injuring opponents. In 2012, the NFL exposed the scheme, and the fallout shook the league to its core. This is the story of Bountygate, the scandal that made fans question just how far a team would go to win. Welcome back to Stars and Secrets, where we dive deep into the biggest sports scandals and untold stories. If you crave real sports drama and behind-the-scenes truths, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a story. To understand Bountygate, you need to know the background. For decades, the Saints were one of the NFL's most struggling franchises, even mocked by fans calling them the Aints. Everything changed with head coach Sean Payton and quarterback Drew Brees joining forces in 2006. Fueled by an aggressive defense, the Saints rose to prominence and won their first ever Super Bowl in the 2009 season, outlasting Peyton Manning's Colts. For New Orleans, still healing from Hurricane Katrina, the Saints became a beacon of hope and pride. But behind that Cinderella story, something far darker was occurring. From 2009 through 2011, defensive coordinator Gregg Williams allegedly ran an illicit bounty program rewarding players with cash, reportedly contributed by coaches and players themselves, for hard hits. Leaked investigation reports suggested a system like this: $100 for a big play such as a forced fumble or special teams tackle, $1,000 for a cart-off, when a player had to leave on a stretcher, $1,500 for a knockout, taking an opponent out of the game. In the playoffs, some payouts reportedly doubled or tripled. Between 22 and 27 players were estimated to have been involved, targeting stars like Brett Favre, Kurt Warner, Aaron Rodgers, and Cam Newton. This was more than tough football. It was a cash-for-injury reward system. Rumors started as early as 2010, with opponents accusing the Saints of purposefully targeting star quarterbacks. The 2009 NFC Championship game against the Vikings became a focal point. Brett Favre endured punishing hits, some legal but some questionable. The hits left him limping through overtime, and debates persist on whether the Saints' tactics cost the Vikings a Super Bowl berth. The NFL launched an investigation, reviewing thousands of documents, emails, and interviews over 2 years. A confidential memo revealed linebacker Jonathan Vilma had offered $10,000 to anyone who could knock Favre out of that NFC title game. Other Saints, including defensive end Charles Grant, also reportedly contributed. Emails linked head coach Sean Payton to knowledge of the program, despite his public denials. By 2012, the NFL was ready to act. The penalties were historic. Gregg Williams was suspended indefinitely, though reinstated in 2013. Sean Payton was suspended for the entire 2012 season, the first time an NFL head coach received such a ban. GM Mickey Loomis was suspended 8 games. Assistant coach Joe Vitt got a 6-game suspension. The Saints franchise was fined $500,000 and lost 2 second-round draft picks, 2012 and 2013. Players like Jonathan Vilma were initially suspended, but later had those suspensions overturned on appeal by former Commissioner Paul Tagliabue, who placed primary responsibility on coaches and management. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell called the bounty program totally unacceptable, emphasizing the risk it posed to player safety. Saints fans were divided. Some felt the league overreacted, others saw it as a severe breach of ethics. Without Payton in 2012, the team struggled to a 7-9 record, a sharp contrast to their Super Bowl season. Players like Vilma fought in court to clear their names. Gregg Williams became synonymous with dirty football, and even Drew Brees, uninvolved in the scheme, lamented how the scandal overshadowed the team's accomplishments. Outside of New Orleans, many viewed the 2009 Super Bowl win with skepticism. Some argued that bounties were exaggerated locker room talk. After all, football is a violent game, and players have long bragged and joked about big hits. But this was different. The NFL found it was an organized, funded program facilitated by coaches. It came at a time when the league was under fire for its handling of concussions and brain injuries. Bountygate wasn't just rule-breaking, it challenged the NFL's commitment to player safety. The scandal left deep scars. For the Saints, their reputation suffered. For the NFL, it triggered tougher rules protecting quarterbacks and defenseless players, along with harsher fines and suspensions for dangerous hits. Gregg Williams returned to coaching but never escaped the Bountygate shadow. Sean Payton rebuilt the Saints' reputation, but the stain from 2012 lingers. To this day, Bountygate remains one of football's darkest chapters. What's your take? Was Bountygate just football being football, or did the NFL need to come down hard for player safety? Sound off in the comments. Share your hot take. If you enjoyed this deep dive, like, subscribe, and share. Stay tuned to Stars and Secrets for more sports' biggest stories revealed. Thanks for watching.